Hey everybody, it's Matt here from OK Aussie. And Dyan, it is currently almost 9 p.m. at night.
And I'm talking about...
What a day we've had.
Okay, I bought this.
Can you see this? Hold on.
It's a meat presser.
There you go.
Because the dude needs a fucking burger.
I have just been given 15 minutes of instructions from the diet on
No.
burger making.
No, I'm actually going to...
Burgerize that, absolutely.
My whole Shein list.
She's been shopping on Shein. Who let her alive on the internet? She's done really well. But one of the things that she's got is this burger smashing.
Shit.
They don't need burgers.
So basically...
So tell me, I want you to share in this combination. What is your combination?
Oh my bloody...
No, I want to get this. And I want to get some feedback from you guys. What's your feedback on this too? So use the comments below if you don't. Do you make your own burgers? Your own smash burgers at home? Do you buy your burger patties? I don't know, frozen burger patties, whatever else.
He pays for
I
it.
love burgers, I must admit. I love homemade burgers. What do you put in your own homemade burgers? I actually like mine with egg.
Okay.
I love
guys,
bacon.
I'm teaching... Yeah, exactly.
Onion.
Egg as well, guys. You can add that in.
Beetroot's a very Australian thing. Do you put beetroot in yours?
I don't
H-Joe's
like it,
had
but
that
it's
at
very
one stage.
Australian, but I
It's
don't
very
like it.
Pineapple. Again, it's a bit like, do you put pineapple on a pizza or do you not put pineapple on pizza? Questions. We have so many questions here. So anyway, tell me about the burger mince patties.
I'm trying to educate the dude, right?
Okay. What do you're going to be giving the instructions. I'm going to be the hands.
This dude could have the most amazing
I'm
burger,
expecting this.
the most amazing burger on a daily basis.
Well, that's a little bit too much, but yeah, come on.
Budget-wise.
Yeah.
If he simply listened to me...
And we're going to put wax paper in between. We're going to freeze them. We're going to have burger patties ready to go, to pull out, cook up, fry up.
Okay. You
What's in it?
basically get a kilo of mince. You flavour it your way. There's many options. We can't... I'm not going there. I've just
Barbecue
been
sauce,
half
tomato
an hour
sauce.
listing it.
Teriyaki sauce. What the hell is teriyaki
Chopped
sauce?
onions, garlic salt,
Finely chopped onions.
taco mix.
Taco
Anyway,
mince, yeah.
We could go for days. That
Carrot.
doesn't-
I have carrot. Do you have carrot in your burger mince?
Anyway, we could go for days.
Yep.
And then if you want to put pineapple, sear your pineapple.
That's in the burger.
And then put it in the burger. Egg, like you say, it's endless. You could even put more fried onion on.
Fried onion.
But anyway, that's not the point.
Bit of crisp
You
lettuce.
can do this budget-wise at home
Exactly.
every day for, like, I'd say
Once you make them up, you make
let's just say...
that's a huge amount of patties, surely.
Well, I'm just trying to think price-wise. I could make you...
Yeah, out of a kilo of mince.
15 burgers or 20 burgers.
Probably 20, I
compared
reckon.
to one meal at HJ's or McDonald's.
Absolutely. Fresh, homemade. Anyway,
Yes.
so that's our conversation at 9 o'clock at night. This is ADHD girl just going hyper.
We're on a budget.
She's going through and telling me all the things that she's bought on
Says
Shein.
me, who's bought things that are
We're on a budget, she says.
for my
She's been on
budgies.
Shein. It's like, sorry. The birds get things. Go figure. To be a pet in this household. Anyway, how are you guys going? I hope you're having a great day. Oh, they can't see that, so let's go.
Look at that.
There you go. Steps out of like little logs so they can...
That's just heaven.
It's
They
amazing.
deserve
These
the
birds
best.
are the most
I
spoiled
even
pets.
got them. Now I warned them. I said, I got you a ladder, ladies. But I warn you this,
It's your
ladies.
stairway to heaven.
I've been
Walking
on
up.
these before myself.
You've been on the ladder? You've been on the steps?
They're wobbly. It's a rope ladder.
I've seen you. Oh,
it's a
for
rope
those.
ladder. And
Like the one
I
at the
have
zoo.
had ataxia, obviously, for longer than I remember.
They are horrible for balance rope ladders.
Sorry, longer than I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
Because whenever we got on them, you and the boys thought I was being dramatic.
No. It's an
I
inner
was
ear
like-
thing. It's a balance thing. It's an ataxia thing. Anyway,
What the-
forget all that.
So I've warned them.
Yeah.
They're very excited.
The birds have been primed.
I'll show you,
They're warm.
actually.
You
Do you want me
look
to
it up
show
while
you?
you're going. So today's been Tuesday. Oh my God, I'm trying to have a conversation with these
Sorry,
people.
but my birds, man.
Okay, right.
I've got the biggest.
They've got the ladder.
I got the biggest.
Biggest what? Biggest birds? Biggest
Biggest
ladder?
ladder.
Okay. It's a long way up apparently to the top. Funny that.
Look, it's a
Our
sanctuary.
day today. Quick little update. Dyan has had
My medical
3
OT.
hours. 3 hours straight.
He's from Queensland.
IME. What is an IME? An independent medical examiner who's actually a qualified OT,
Shoes.
physio background.
Got some shoes.
So he's come up because this is on behalf of the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, and we're at the
Yes,
AAT,
yes.
the Administration Appeals Tribunal.
Like
Are you getting
every-
sick of acronyms here? AAT, NDIS, OT,
If
IME.
anyone's on the NGS,
I'm sick of
you guys
acronyms,
know
abbreviations.
This.
Yeah.
You know this. You have to go to AAT.
What's worse is he took all my photocopying that I did at Officeworks yesterday. $8 and
Do you know
50 cents
what's
worth.
even more worse?
Hundreds of
That I
pages of
had to
photocopying.
that I had to
What?
spend 3 hours talking to him.
Yeah.
Lovely guy.
Yeah,
But
lovely guy.
3 hours talking to him, very experienced OT.
Yeah.
And he's like, so basically you got diagnosed with all of these like diagnoses,
Yeah.
and then you get told you've got a genetic syndrome.
Yeah. Ask
He
about,
could
isn't
see
it?
that he's like, that's just the wrong way round, isn't it? And I said, yes, that's what I'm trying to
that's
say.
part of the problem.
And he goes, well, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, then we're done, right? No, still got to do 3
Yeah.
hours. Because the bloody government, you're
Anyway,
wasting money.
so,
you're wasting money.
What we were doing today was what's known as a functional assessment.
Oh, my
That's where we're going to go
God.
through and find out, how does Dyan function?
I
Now,
don't.
if you don't put the batteries in, and if the
I
batteries aren't
don't
charged up,
function.
she don't function at all. She's a bit like a mobile phone when it's on a very low battery. You know, weak signal, starts to go on the blink. You're halfway through an email and the power goes out. Well, that's her basically. So,
But do you want to see my chocolate?
sure, you go eat chocolate. So, 3 hours of going through, and she's had a functional assessment every year
but
that
guess
she's been on the NDIS. We've been on the NDIS 5 years.
I had to
That's
have-
5 functional assessments. Thank you very
I had
much.
to have a chest spray. That was rather embarrassing while they were here.
Nitrolingual spray is not embarrassing when you're having a cardiac event amidst
What did
3
it
hours.
do?
You put the music up, got TikTok in the background. So 3 hours is very exhausting for you.
But basically, look, here's some chocolate. You're welcome.
Big W. Why did you bring this out?
It's memory foam.
Do you not
I need it right
understand
now.
that she is
So-
susceptible to impulse buying
so
decisions?
basically, though,
Thank you, Big W.
good day today with my heart. I did not once that I know of.
Sorry, you had nitrolingual spray. You call that a good day?
Yeah.
Most people call that, is that an emergency event which we need to go to hospital, sweetie?
My oxygen did not go below 90.
That's
for the first
that's a
day
good
in
thing.
a long time.
Because you stayed horizontal. You were not getting up and about. She was horizontal the entire time.
I wasn't tiring myself out because I made sure, I had to make sure for the important person that I was very well rested.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that could be part of it.
That was be a
Whatever.
major part of it.
That's just one variable.
One variable
The main
of
variable.
manual, but yet not just
But
to let you
anyway.
know, nitrolingual spray is not a good thing when you have a
But I'm used to
cardiac
it.
event.
I'm used
She
to it.
gaslights herself. What do I do with this girl?
I'm used to it.
So
because
anyway, 3 hours, IME. We also had our disability advocate.
Malika.
Yeah, great to have her here. And she was involved in the process and engaged.
And I got a
Lots of communication.
present.
You got a present.
my
I did get a
50th.
present. You got a present.
And she knows exactly what I like, and it was really special.
Absolutely. So that was really lovely. And thank you very much to Malika.
People are very kind.
But it's also important to have people like, not only myself as also an advocate and the guardian and
Is this
carer
my
involved,
chocolate?
but you can't
No.
eat that one. Don't try and eat that. Piker.
Isn't
It'll be a
it
phone thing.
cute?
Autistic. Don't. Back away. I know you're hungry. Back away. Don't lick. Does it smell like chocolate?
I've already done that.
Okay. Some of them are actually
It doesn't.
infused with a smell, which is really cool. So we had the
Fantastic.
disability advocate. So that was a useful engagement because it puts. And look, disability advocate is also disabled herself. She's a wheelchair-bound
she
paraplegic.
gets it.
So she gets it, and she's got that perspective of say these are the things that we need and justify that in that sort of process.
And she had disability as a
Yeah.
kid, which I did too, which I
Absolutely.
didn't even know.
But look, it was a good exercise. You went through it, and look,
Yeah.
you're very well versed in the process because you've done 5 functional
I've done
assessments.
5 functional assessments.
Why is she doing this? Because Dyan's at the AAT of
It's
escalation.
actually
There are certain things that the NDS has said,
Yeah.
no, we don't want to give you this. And then we go, well,
They've
she
given me,
needs it.
Well, the
So we have
lawyers
to
have given
justify
me
it, and we've done that.
a fair go. So what they did was, this is an independent.
Yep.
So this is not on my side, not on their
No, we don't
side,
choose this
just
person.
independent. And it's
Yep.
wonderful. I'm
Yep.
so glad they did that. It's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yippee-yay.
Impartial. And looking at it from the beginning, that's your
Yeah.
medication thing from Google. Google Home Automation telling Dyan, as a Google nurse does, don't forget to take your medications, darling. Thank you, Google. So it is an independent process, but it is exhaustive for Dyan. Now, not only does she have 3 hours on site, the person can come back and contact me by phone or email for any sort of little touch bases on things he wants to tweet. But he's got to go away and write a report. He'll probably spend 8 to 10 hours writing a frigging report.
Waste of money, government.
It's a 15-hour exercise, effectively, doing these sort of things each and every time.
You don't need to.
Work that out, calculate that. And look, we do feel it's like a rinse and repeat because you have done it, and it's a great insight.
They all know it. It's stupid.
But this is the point. That's really the conversation tonight.
Admin people who have no. This is what sucks. But guess what?
This is the stupid parts of the NDS.
The little gravy chain will be over soon. I know it's frustrating, guys. I know that we are commodity, and they want us. They look at my package and they go, "I'm going to be your best friend." And I'm like, "Oh, God. Yes, I've got a rare syndrome and you want to eat all my money up."
Yeah. But you know, on that point,
it's going to be cleaned up.
Here's the funny thing that you're probably not aware of. The amount of hours, let's say it's 15 hours that he takes this independent OT to do this report.
Could be even more than that.
No, but let's say it's on average,
it'll be average 15
hours.
Average.
The cost for doing so is probably equivalent of the wheelchair that we're actually applying to purchase.
The small wheelchair.
Again, so they'll spend the money in the report writing process.
I've been paying for the hire.
And salary costs rather than actually
because I know I can't safely walk.
It's ludicrous. I know. But anyway, that's the weird sort of shit that we have to deal with, isn't it?
No, I can explain it.
Oh, I know you can.
I mean, just show my certificates.
And we pan up.
I'm social welfare.
And we panned up. We're psychology.
We know a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know a lot about this system. I am trained to work with disability.
Absolutely.
Aged and youth. I am trained to be a support coordinator.
Yeah.
Okay? I know what they're doing to a large extent, right? And I know their battle. And everybody in the system that's a professional, say, right, knows it's wrong. But everyone in admin that works in the system thinks it's perfectly great because they're idiots on medical. Because disability, anything, they become aware of medical because they meet us all. Yeah. Now, it was difficult for him because I had to explain myself quite lengthy, which I was happy to do because it's a rare syndrome. It's not common. But he seemed to take it on quite well, quite quickly because he was a very, and no offense, but I'm just going to say, he's mature enough to handle such information because... You need experience, I'm sorry, with complex patients like me. I'm a complex medical patient. Even my hospital's not coping. Yeah. So naturally, he's an OT. He's got to understand me. Absolutely. So he did really well. Yeah,
and understand, look, really, what if you don't know what a functional assessment is, it's really about finding out
know what it is.
How you, as a person, function in your daily activities. How do you shower, get dressed,
kind of embarrassing,
do toileting,
you have to really go
do your food, your drink, everything that you would normally take for granted.
Yeah, but you know what it makes you go through? A bit like today, realising that I have to use these, it's like a spit rag thing that babies use with their mums,
A bib, basically.
So I have like a bib type thing and cups and things if I can't get a bed to brush my teeth, all these things, nappies, everything, guys. And it's really hard when you're disabled at that point, especially when you're young, the younger you are.
And 50 is young, I'm sorry, but it still is. It's not something you're thinking really of 70 or 80 or 90 years of age.
Because it really becomes reality, and it really hit me today. Because we were talking about it all at once. For him, that for me, it made me realise the severity of my situation, including my heart failure. It just really hit me hard.
I think
that I'm not... everything is just like, wow, what happened to my life?
I think there's some upsetting moments in the process too.
Well, you have me so an orphan.
And the upsetting parts...
No one cares about me.
Sure, there's lots of aspects. And it's very raw. And you're having to disclose your experience. Who are your informal supports? Who have you lost along the way because of disability? How do you function? What did you used to have of functionality but then have lost? But beyond even that, it's... How would you explain it? It's the grief sometimes, I think, and that's what I'm trying to get to, of when they ask questions of the disability advocate, wouldn't you like to be in the kitchen cooking, for example? And it's like,
I cried.
You teared up and you cried up because it's like, the reality is, the function of doing things with your hand,
I'm dealing with heart failure. I mean,
sitting up or standing up.
I need to be worrying about is being in the kitchen.
And
it's like, I want to, guys. I am a chef. I'm good at cooking.
I miss your damn cooking. That's why we're talking about burgers just right now.
I'm good at cooking.
But even that process is, I'll probably be the one who goes out and gets all the ingredients and brings it back. Dyan might be sitting in her chair and giving me instructions, yet I'm the one hands-on doing it. And then even when it comes to the sampling, she's not going to be able to eat it herself because it contains items where it will affect her stomach. So
it's too heavy.
The whole, farm to table to presentation to enjoyment, you miss out on, unfortunately, in that sort of exercise. Now, a quick little fit check. That was a really big exercise, and I don't demean it, but 3 hours is incredibly tiring for Dyan. So
I had no choice. What we this is AAT,
have
guys,
to do it.
And I was happy to do it. It's just disappointing that the NDIS has been so pathetic. I mean, they're so happy to pay. Look, things that should be criminal are considered unethical. And I think Bill Shorten's explained that very well.
Yeah.
And Bill Shorten is going to make it criminal.
On that point, sorry, you brought something up there. Politically, and this is the thing, I'm sick of disability being a political football in Australia. What I mean by that...
Because the evasion of the rich in tax is bullshit.
Yeah, it is being utilised to try and undermine the current sitting government, Labor, by other parties. And a prime example of that will be Pauline Hanson, who is an independent One Nation in essence.
She makes us like, we're doll bludgers. It's like, sweetheart,
Jesus,
I'm dying,
starting to get back to your fish and chips.
Do you
Seriously,
want to swap lives? I would love to be a politician and make a difference in the world.
I am grossly offended for people with disability who are on the system with some of the things that you've actually stated. Good,
you grow the fuck up into an autistic adult. And we don't get to choose the spectrum level of what we are, darling.
Now, I'm going to talk about something which that's also triggered me because a bit of the news. But quick before we do that, a fit check.
I can't stand Pauline Hanson. Look, Pauline Hanson...
Sorry, did you go to a Pauline Hanson rant? But
I'm a welfare person. Don't get me stuck on politics. Yeah. But I will say this, Pauline Hanson...
She's very controversial as a politician,
There are points I agree on you. Sure. And I can have a civilised conversation with you. There's no hate here. Yeah. I have issue, though, with your ignorance on disability, and if you want to educate yourself, I'm happy to do so in an absolute respectful manner, because you're getting it wrong and you need to hear it from the right way.
But as a political...
And what you need to fucking talk about is the medical system and the denial of these syndromes.
Absolutely.
Is disgusting.
Yeah. And look, like I said, as a political handball, don't use people with disability for that as an exercise. It's really upsetting and offensive.
We're not a political
and don't turn the general public against people with disability because you're trying to utilise the key or carrot that you're dangling of that there's money that's being wasted. No, it's
who's getting new cars, Pauline Hanson? Do you want to know who's getting the new cars? The support coordinators that are charging ridiculous per hour.
Yeah.
The people who have agencies who are doing fake receipts and getting fake invoices and getting money, Pauline Hanson.
Yeah.
I have a 2007 car. Okay? Get your facts checked as a person, as a politician, even a journalist.
Should have known
who was doing the interview with her. Fact check yourself, mate.
So, another segue into something different.
Where's the free car?
Anyway.
If we get a free car,
hold on, you.
Here I am. I am on the top level NDIS.
Dyan, and on the surprise, it incensed me
Give me the car if
but
there's a free car.
Segue to different things. First of all, quick little fit check. I am wearing a Harry Potter Woody-esque like thing.
Fit check.
Yeah. Look what I'm wearing. I've got the Woody on. Hold on. There you go. I'm done.
Harry Potter.
What are you wearing?
I am sporting the Care.
What mood are you today?
Everything.
I actually asked that question of her when she's wearing her Care Bear. Oh my God, you got a Care Bear blanket as well.
Pillow, mini.
Oh my God, it's the whole Disney collection.
Hang on.
What?
That's Taylor Emily. She looks just like me.
Hi Taylor.
She gorgeous? She's gorgeous. My Cabbage Patch.
Yeah. What else is going on over here? You've got a bit of Tinkerbell on the pajamas. There's our fit check. Okay, sorry, we're not fashion bloggers.
And chocolate bear.
So here's my last thing I want to talk about because it was just in the media.
But Pauline Hanson, have a chat.
Okay, so in the media,
there's a lot I do agree
and
on.
I'm asking you questions so you can be part of this, but without ranting. Thank you very much, Dave. Ambulatory wheelchair users. I'm going to explain the article. It was on the ABC. Okay.
Ambulatory and paraplegic, quadriplegic is very different, guys.
Sure. So there are a lot of wheelchair users.
For different reasons.
And let me have a conversation on this. About a third, it's the same in the UK.
Yeah.
About a third of the wheelchair users are people who can stand and walk, but they need a wheelchair in their daily life because they can't go long distances, for example, without causing pain or suffering or injury or harm. Okay, so there's risks associated to that. They would be called ambulatory. So they're not absolutely paralyzed. That means their limbs, their lower legs, for example,
can walk. We can
don't
walk.
work. It
I'm
means,
one of them.
Yeah.
I'm ambulatory.
But like I said, about a third of those are. Now, the article points out the negative stigmatism towards people in wheelchairs who they might get to an Ackroyd car parking bay and they suddenly, well, I'm not going to say suddenly, they stand up to transfer from the wheelchair to the car, and they get these people going outrageous, banging on their window, going, "You shouldn't be in this. You shouldn't be in this wheelchair bay. This should be left to a person who needs it." Sorry, but a person
for a wheelchair person.
Yeah, so these are the sort of stuff, and you've had this.
I've seen people get out of their cars, is elderly, and just walk out the car.
So examples are, for example, in shopping centres, you've had this maybe in a transfer where you've had to stand up to walk into
however, I know it's
a change room simply because there's no disability bay available. Or we've gone to a toilet and there's no disability toilet. You've had to again stand up to walk into a toilet cubicle by yourself.
Guys,
because
I
it wouldn't
can
fit
fall off the toilet.
Yeah.
Now, do I want to do that in a female toilet and the only person that can save me is a man?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
So in this example, it was on the ABC. And I wanted to
guys.
put this out there because it's actually a really good topic because we've had it and experienced ourselves. I'm obviously an attendant. I push Dyan around a lot of the time. Sometimes she's in an electric wheelchair by herself and able to independently do so. But the reality is that there are a lot of people who unfortunately do need wheelchairs in the daily life. Maybe because it's balance, ataxia. Maybe it's a cognitive thing where they will fall over or can't have the exertion. Exertion is the big one. Patients with, in this ABC article, there was a patient there with ME/CFS, myalgic encephalitis. If you've got chronic fatigue, just trying to walk 10 or 20 metres exhausts you to the point where you get cardiac or respiratory issues or other sort of things. And bingo, the difference of being able to do things.
If I overexert, guys, if I didn't use my wheelchair, I would not live the life that I live right now.
And that was the key point
as much as
coming out of this article.
Also, I'd be having way more seizures.
Exactly. So I wanted to express that from Dyan's perspective. And I wanted you to also have this. I'm telling you about, I do tell Dyan the news from time to time. And I wanted to get your expression on this or your response. How do you think about this article as a advocacy article to say, drawing awareness, drawing attention to the issue, to stop people from going, don't shame people who are in wheelchairs who need to use it. I don't think there's anybody in a wheelchair who goes, oh, I'm fantasizing and I really want to be in a wheelchair.
Can I talk about that as a story, guys? I cried for 2 years using a wheelchair at the beginning of my wheelchair days.
Just transitioning, basically, isn't it? Even now you're feeling aware because you're losing.
I miss the fashion and the handbags and the things that a walking person gets to experience.
Okay, funny normal will say.
No one looks at you twice, for example, right? Unless, I don't know, you're wearing something that makes people do that. But
I'm sorry to catch you in a sad moment on it, but I think it's important for people to see this.
I was in a chemist and we were going through the checkout.
Yep.
And he was in front of me and I was behind.
Yep.
We're conscious of space and my wheelchair is very small like me.
It's a juvenile size wheelchair.
Okay, and I'm just going to say this. If there's body acceptance, and I agree with that, you should never apologise for what space you take up.
Yep.
And I expect the same in a wheelchair.
100%.
But guys,
you should.
I had evil eyes of 4 people who had to walk around. I'd give anything to be able to walk around.
So firstly, because it's a stupidly narrow aisle.
It was narrow.
That they're forcing people to go through.
And I was made to feel inconvenient. And you know what?
Made to feel
My
inconvenient.
natural instinct, because of I was raised
Your
as
response?
a child to feel just that my existence was shit.
Yeah,
I was
what do you do?
annoying, right? Just existing. That I apologised.
You apologised.
And no one said, "Oh, it's okay."
No, the shop assistant
thank
didn't
you.
go, "Oh, look, I'm so sorry to put you in that situation," or "Sorry to the customers."
Nothing.
It's a stupid design. I mean, that's the fact.
It's a chemist. Where do you think disability people are the most?
Do you remember, where was it?
Chemists.
The chemist warehouse that we went into. I think it was actually in Fremantle.
No,
Where was
well,
that?
close to Fremantle.
It was close to Fremantle.
No, it was.
We've never been to this particular chemist warehouse. And the aisles, and I remember the actual aisles were so narrow that we're going down one and it's like, you can't, no one can walk around if a single person.
Around.
I don't understand the layouts and the design, but
also,
the way it
once
makes
again,
you feel.
maybe, once again, sorry, my words are getting the wrong words. Because I took up the whole aisle, and I'm petite in a small wheelchair.
Juvenile size wheelchair.
I am in a wheelchair, and people are coming towards me, looking at me as if,
my physical size and shape, I'm just going to let you know, the width of me with my arms by my side.
You were going sideways,
would be
weren't you?
the same size, if not bigger,
but you were going sideways
juvenile
with some of the
wheelchair.
stuff that was hanging
Absolutely.
down. Yeah.
So, but to be made to feel that you're inconvenient,
but because
that
I was
you
in a
shouldn't be
wheelchair,
doing
exactly,
that.
I shouldn't be in public. I reckon
Right.
people are thinking.
Exactly.
That's the vibe I get. It's
Yeah.
like, why don't you just stay home? It would be easier.
Yeah, and the last point on this comes back to things like the ACROD. ACROD's the disability, the blue car parking base with the picture of the disability.
Eligible.
It's eligibility based on a doctor's certificate being written to say that this person needs to have access to these things. Because if you park closely with width, first of all, the width gives us the ability to get into and out of egress, into transfers.
Yeah,
so that Dian's not hurting herself,
hip.
dislocating, damaging ankles or knees, which can happen and has happened and does happen in narrow car parking spaces.
How many times have I fallen back into the car seat?
Falls are called because of the attacks in confined spaces.
So, you know.
Absolutely. So it's a reality.
It's not easy.
Look,
I make it look easy because you know why? You know why I make it look easy?
Yeah.
Because they're goddamn embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because people are so judgy.
Yeah. You're also a dancer and you fall very nicely. So
I do actually.
elegant at dancing, elegant at falling. I must admit, you do it with grace and style.
So I love the fact that it makes me laugh. I love it. Like,
but
if I fall over,
I feel
like, it's a 10.
Sure. I get anxious myself in car parking spaces like ACROD car parking bay, just waiting for the abuse or negativity from some people that think that they're inclined to say that they should be the judgment police of who should and who shouldn't park in those bays. Dyan is certified and necessary to have one. She's qualified and has the actual ACROD sticker. She is obviously in a friggin' wheelchair. And because she's young, okay, and remember, she's been in a wheelchair now for,
12 years, mate.
12, 13 years. Shit me. So when she was 37 years of age was when she was first stepping into a wheelchair. That's very, very, very young. But you can even imagine there, a person who dresses young, sitting in a car and the looks, and I've actually seen people go up to the ACROD sign and they look at that and they look at our label and sticker to make sure it is offensive. So thank you to the ABC, a really good article for advocacy and awareness across Australia. I'm sure it happens in other countries, and I'd like your feedback. If you found it might happen to you, if you're a person of disability, a person who needs to use a wheelchair, you're an ambulatory wheelchair user as well, or you've seen this sort of thing happen, please have understanding, please have empathy towards the people who are in that situation. But a really good article on the ABC, because these are the sort of things that create awareness. It's not a VIP car parking space.
It's a disability.
It's for those that need ambulatory needs.
So if you're old or you're young, you have to be disabled to be eligible. It's not for the elderly.
Yeah.
It's because of the elderly.
If they have a disability or a mobility issue. Yeah.
But I'll say this. I don't know if you've noticed, but our generation is sicker.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that go with that.
We are very disabled. There is a lot of us that have syndromes. There is a lot of us that have ended up in our middle age with chronic illness. And I'm telling you, it is all the things that have been done before. End of story. Okay? Whether it's the pesticides combined with...
all of those, let's not go to the roundup debate, but that's a real
right?
fact as well. Absolutely.
So please understand that even people with chronic illness, they don't even have to be severe.
Yeah.
People are sicker these days.
Yep.
We are not living like. I could go for an hour on this and I won't, but I'll sum it up.
Mm-hmm.
We are not living the way we are intended to live, and it's killing us.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
if we keep
What we
doing
eat,
it, we're all going to die in higher
smoking,
numbers. We need to go back the other direction to self-sufficiency, because this is not going to turn out good.
Now, I'm going to leave you with a power tip.
Health.
If you are an ACROD user and you're finding it difficult to find a car parking bay, here's another example. In our area where we now live, and we actually live in a disability apartment building, there's no disability ACROD car parking bays here in the disability apartment or in 1 kilometre radius of where we live. And we've got public amenities, public parks and everything. Crazy. But here's my power tip. I'm going to give you to it. That's over 1 kilometre. That's about 1.4 kilometres away.
1 kilometre?
That's over 1.4 kilometres away. That's the nearest car parking bay that has disability. And it only has 2. And you can imagine it's a busy place. Apparently, disability people in wheelchairs don't need to go to the beach. But anyway, here's my story. Here's a bit of anecdote to leave you with.
Yeah, that's true.
If you can't find a ACROD car parking bay and you have an ACROD certificate, you can actually take over 2 normal bays. You can actually park, it's legal to do so. You can actually park in between 2 car parking bays and use that secondary bay for your access. We don't because, we don't ever do it ourselves. Simply because we feel awkward, we don't want to draw attention, negativity to. But the reality is that the difficulties that we put ourselves into, the pain and suffering, the risks that we put Dyan out for transfers and hurting herself, even just trying to get a frigging wheelchair between the car.
I've even hurt my fingers because look, X generation here. Yeah. We're fucked.
Yeah, we are.
Our parents fucked us up.
They did.
I've actually injured my fingers protecting my car door from bumping someone else's
don't do that.
Car.
Yeah.
So I don't do that anymore.
No.
But I'm just saying that's how conscious
But don't park
I am.
so close to us.
Oh,
in a car
stop
parking bay.
parking on the lines, motherfuckers.
Yeah. And don't leave shopping trolleys in disability car parking bays. And don't use it as a walk access while we're trying to drive in. Anyway, to some of the gripes for disability bays.
It's not a zebra crossing.
No, that's the ones with the stripes.
No.
Don't get them confused. Just
Because
saying.
I will just run you, well, he will just run you over. I've lost
If
my
you've seen my
license.
driving, I would. And if she was driving, she would because she shouldn't have a
But
license.
I'm just saying,
Don't let her drive.
walk, like I'm saying this like kind.
Yeah.
You're probably not aware. Please
Don't
be
use it as a
aware.
walk-through. Yeah.
People think that no one ever parks in them. They're rarely used. So
They'll
people
stand
walk
and have a
across
chat.
Them. They jaywalk across
walk.
them. So and they don't look
They
around.
park
They
their
feel
trolleys
so,
and leave them there.
They feel so confident that they just walk slowly across them.
Yeah.
Please don't go around them, because there's always going to be someone possibly sitting waiting to turn in.
Yep.
And when you have a disability and you care, it seeps onto them. We always feel shit for what we have to put onto society.
I shouldn't have to justify a damn thing.
Which needs to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so, good
being
article
done.
on the ABC.
So
Thank you for the advocacy and awareness. And I hope our channel is helping to create awareness and education of some of these issues and concerns.
Get out the car. Right,
Be proud.
Like the gymnast.
Be strong.
Olympic Games coming up.
With a score?
You go like this.
Ta-da!
You get out the car. Even if you have to hold on to something, I know what it's like.
But we'll hold the scorecards up. 9.8. 9.8. 10!
Be proud.
On that note, guys, give us a big thumbs up if you're proud of us, because we like to
you're
educate, advocate, help, and
you're
share the
out
information.
there and you're living life.
Indeed. If you've got comments and questions,
about.
leave them below, because we'd love to hear your experience or your thoughts on the matter as well. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share our channel. See you guys. Bye for now.